Hello, friends and enemies. Welcome back to Weekly Allowance, the only toy review show that's doing okay. We're doing okay. Today's figure is Mythic Legion's Rising Sun's Diis Paatar. A little bit different than the type of figure I usually go for, but I really couldn't pass him up, and maybe when we unbox him, you'll see why. Today's beverage is Olipop, which actually isn't bad. Not a sponsor at all. I don't have any sponsors. A little bit too small time for that, but yeah, this is pretty good. I don't really drink soda much at all anymore, but this is pretty low calorie, low sugar. It's good. Yeah, for some reason this lemon lime flavor tastes like cherry pie. I don't know why. I'm not a beverage scientist. Maybe one day I'll transition to fully doing beverage reviews. Oh, that would be stupid. Anyway, let's take a look at our guy. Another standard sized figure in a standard sized box. Just slip this back off. Ooh, he comes with a lot of stuff, looks like already. Look at this boy. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Man. Be respectful. I don't even know if he is a man. He's some kind of creature. I guess we'll find out more when we get him out of the package. Okay, I don't know if you noticed during that unboxing sequence, but when I was taking out this scabbard, this sword and scabbard, I was careful to get the hilt out first because the hilt was kind of jammed in there, and I was afraid that if I just popped the whole thing out, something might break or get bent or something. So just be aware of that when you're unboxing this sword in particular. So here's our guy. I don't recognize this race in Mythic Legions. It might be a new race that they've introduced. The Scorans? Yeah, I think this is the first one. I could be totally wrong and I've just missed the others, but he's an assassin. Makes sense. He looks like an assassin. An interesting note, his name, Diis Paatar, is very close to Diis Paatar. I think I'm pronouncing both of those right, maybe not. I could be doing both wrong. Diis Paatar was the Roman god of the underworld, so like a precursor to Hades. So this guy's name is extremely similar, but with more of an Arabic bent, I guess. Just something interesting that I found out when I was looking up the listing for him on Store Horseman. So yeah, he's not the typical kind of figure I collect. I prefer more brightly colored characters. He is pretty drab, not in a boring way, just very earth toned, which isn't personally my favorite. But I thought it was a very interesting character design, an interesting race of people. The first thing I noticed is that his hands are just like these little crab guy hands. He does not have normal human hands, and that's really cool, because a lot of the times, even when you have like the beast races or the Cosmic Legion's aliens, you still get very human hands. Some might have 4 fingers or 3 fingers, but they're still, humanoid hands. This guy just has little scorpion claws. I think that is very cool, and he doesn't need fingers. He can hold his weapons with these little grabbies. So yeah, very muted tones. I'm getting desert vibes off this guy. Pretty hardcore. Makes sense. Scorpion. Cute little scorpion feet. His skin tone is kind of a gray blue with some red blush. He has what seems to be organic armor, kind of like the chitin armor in Skyrim, where you can kill those Chaurus creatures and make chitin armor. At least it's that way for his helmet. It doesn't really translate to the rest. The rest is pretty normal Mythic Legion's armor with the breastplate and the fabric. He has what looks like the beginnings of gloves, but they don't make gloves for people like him. Not very inclusive. It's the same for the feet, the beginnings of boots, but no boot ends because his feet are just too different. I think I would have preferred a different look there just because it looks kind of silly, like he just chopped off the edges of his gloves and his boots, but that's just a personal opinion. You've got a soft goods loincloth with a wire in it. You can put him in a dynamic pose. I'm Surprised this guy does not come with like a cape or something, because he looks like he should wear a cape, especially with this and this helmet, something in the same maroon kind of color. And he is not fully decked out. He has this wicked looking attachment that goes on his back as part of his body, or supposed to be part of his body. I just haven't put that on yet because I want to look at articulation first, and this might get in the way a little bit. I think I'll have to heat him up. It's better to heat them up and not break them, you know what I'm saying? Articulation head moves very nicely. I think we've got a neck joint, so there's a swivel there, and then another swivel from the just a ball underneath that head. I will say that this can be taken on and off, and it comes off pretty easily. But then when you take it off, you get a glimpse of his face underneath. Spooky green eyes. Very, very bright, very scary. But yeah, this thing comes off pretty easily. Looks like a stag beetle antler or something. I'm expecting more of the same kind of articulation from this guy. I think he's a pretty standard figure, just with some interesting creature parts. Swivel and side to side on those claws. Nice articulation up here. Little bit of back and forth, but mostly swivel there. This belt is blocking our waist swivel. Or I say blocking, but I mean hiding. A little bit of back and forth there too. Ooh, he is pretty stiff since I haven't heated him up. That's my bad. You should always heat them up first. This piece kind of gets in the way of leg out. It is rubbery, but it can only move so much. Leg back's not bad. Single knee, got a twist there. Bit of a boot twist as well, and then rock and swivel on those feet. Little insect feet. I'm getting a lot of paint flaking off of his joints, but that's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and heat him up and attach this part, because I'm pretty sure this is meant to be like part of his body, not just something he can take on and off. Of course, these are customizable. If you don't want him to have this scorpion piece, he doesn't have to, but why would you not want him to? So let's put it on. Okay, it definitely took a lot of heating up, but we got our scorpion piece in. It does seem to want to fall out pretty easily, which is surprising to me, but I guess it shouldn't be. I don't know why. I think it just might not go deep enough. So not only do you get the scorpion piece, but you also get these two arms that attach, I believe, and I don't have them on hand right now, but I believe that these pieces are Sphexian pieces. Sphexians were my favorite of the Cosmic Legion races. I just love them, but as I have documented from the ones I've reviewed, they're so frustrating. And it's the same for these arms. They don't want to go in, they don't want to stay in. Yeah, whenever I pose them, they just kind of want to fall out, and then this thing wants to fall out. I was hoping that this would be a little bit more sturdy than the Sphexian pieces that you plug in, but it looks rad as hell. It got a little bit battle damage, got these huge spikes coming out. Very reminiscent of Cosmic Legion's Mbira as well. She also had the scorpion tail piece, but hers was part of her head. She didn't have one just coming out of the back here. The tail seems to be tipped with green venom, so this is wired. You can get a little bit of a pose out of it. I think I would mainly want to just use it to help balance him. But he stands pretty well on his own because he's got these long feet. Menacing looking guy. But that's not it. He comes with a lot of stuff, and really cool stuff, actually. So let's see where I put it. Pauldrons, of course. I actually forgot about these and set them aside. But yeah, more kind of organic armor. Let's see if I can still put these in, or if he's cooled down too much. Yeah, he's still warm enough. Oh, but you see what I mean? These want to come out, and then this comes out, and it's all just kind of a mess. Yeah, like I said, the Sphexians, I adore them. I love them so much, but they're so frustrating. I never want to touch them again. Maybe that's dramatic. I want to touch them again, but you know what I mean. It's just frustrating. It's difficult to get them to do anything without stuff falling out all over the place. So he comes with these two blades. These are called elven blades, typically used by elves, I would guess. They can be combined to make one long Darth Maul type weapon. Wicked looking, very, very cool. It's just a simple metallic black, but that's all you need for this. All you need for this guy. He's an assassin. You also get a scimitar. Very cool studded handle, which looks like it would hurt after a while, but it does look cool. The sword I showed you earlier, very ornate, beautiful looking. The scabbard is super cool. Kind of a matte texture with some gold. Shing, you could take that out, and it's just a neat sword. And I love this torch. Looks like a magical flame. I don't think it glows in the dark. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. It might glow under black light, but the effect is so cool. The torch itself is beautiful, but then that green flame is just captivating. And then finally, you get another head. Here he is, unmasked. This is what a Scorin looks like underneath that that mask. Very Sphexian-like, except IMO, the Sphexians were cuter. I don't know, I found them really cute for some reason. This guy, not so much. But another cool thing about this figure is that you can remove these crests and mix and match them. If you don't want his eyes as covered up, put that on there. If you want his eyes covered up, but you don't want the rest of his mouth covered up, put this on here, which looks really cool. Just some really neat options. I think I like this look the best because you can see those wicked looking teeth. You can see the eyes kind of peeking out, and then you get this really ornate crest. Just looks really menacing. Ooh, yeah, he's spooky. I'm afraid to put his weapons in these little lobster hands because I'm afraid they're just gonna fall out. And they're not very rubbery, so it's difficult. It does take some effort, or at least it did for me, to get everything arranged. Two things that I've noticed, aside from all the pieces wanting to fall off. These crab claw hands are so difficult to get these weapons into. This one in particular was almost completely shut. The tips are a little bit rubbery, but other than that, they're very hard. And so it was just so difficult to slide that, that weapon in. I kind of had to squish the tips to get it in, which you never want to squish the tip, but I mean, sometimes you have to. So that was difficult, and then I couldn't really find a good place for this sword scabbard. I'm not sure where it's supposed to go. Sometimes when the swords have little attachment points like this, they'll include these ringlets you can use to hang them from a belt. But unless I lost them, he doesn't come with any of those. I tried to attach it into these loops on the back, but it wants to slant downward and the sword just wants to fall out. Aside from that, it doesn't fit very well. I could only fit it in this largest loop, and even then it was very tight. So I'm not really sure where the scabbard is supposed to go. And I inserted it here, I tried that, but it looked cool, but it seemed like it would just get in the way. You know, if you want a realistic scenario of him being able to swing his arms around and stuff. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. This figure definitely has its drawbacks, as do a lot of the more involved figures. But I mean, you can't deny it. It looks really cool. It might be frustrating to take pictures of, so good luck, Patrick. He'll do a good job. He'll do fine. So here he is next to the figure we opened up last time, Manisha Cinderhorn, with the Myrina head. Myrina, the elf lady head. So yeah, he and Manisha look pretty good together. They look like they're in cahoots. She looks way fancier than him though. And I've been keeping this guy around just because I like him so much. Been keeping him in the review room. One of these things does not belong. They all look pretty cool together though. Just like last time, we got Fortnite Jazzwares Man Cake. Are they gonna fight? I don't know. And here is TB League Anubis. About the same size. He actually fits in pretty well. He looks close in color scheme to Diis. Okay, I'm filming this after the fact, but we're going to go ahead and insert it into the middle of the video, or wherever we're doing the comparisons, with the magic of editing. I just wanted to bring out Mbira, who is another scorpion person, and the Cosmic Legion's Sphexian, because he uses parts from the Sphexian. You can see the Sphexian's little insect hands. Looks like these are slightly different sculpt, but the back arms are the same. And then if we turn them around, let's look at Mbira's scorpion head tail. So we've got the same sculpt from here down, but then this part is obviously different on him. It terminates in these spikes and these extra arms. On her, it becomes part of her head. I just thought it would be interesting to bring these in and show the similarities, show what parts they reuse. 2 scorpion people and 1 bug alien. They have very similar mouth structures as well. Love the Sphexians, love Mbira. This guy fits right in with them. So yeah, not Sphexian levels of aggravating, but still a little bit aggravating. Yeah, not my usual type of figure, but I like creatures, and this one is weird. The weirder the creature, usually the better for me. What I would really like, and I'm sorry if I'd say this too much, but I would really like a female figure in this kind of style. You know, we got Mbira with Cosmic Legions, and she's really cool. I love her, but she's still like got a human woman face, and then like the rest is kind of scorpion-like. I want something like this where it's just a female body, and then you've got like this monstrous head that's not just like a pretty lady head. Which, I mean, you can be accomplished by mixing and matching parts, which is what these are known for. You could just put his head on a female body, and I think it would be fine. But yeah, just kind of like some kind of monster female character that's just obviously a monster. It doesn't have a pretty lady face, has a weird insect face with lots of spikes. So before we go, I just wanted to say something, hopefully really quickly. I'm gonna try and make it quick. You might have noticed that I've been a little bit lower energy this review. I tried not to be, I tried to keep my usual energy, but I don't know if that came across at all. A couple of reviews ago, you might have heard me say that you could hear my dog barking or whining in the background because she didn't like me being in here while she was out there because she was old and needy. And we kind of knew this was coming, but since then we have had to say goodbye to her. And it's been difficult. And kind of the only reason I'm mentioning it here is because she is also the face of the channel. She's our icon. And I'm going to get around to making a proper like logo sooner rather than later now. But yeah, since the inception of this channel, she's been our logo. So I just thought that it would make sense to just say something about that. You know, not trying to get like YouTuber sob points or anything. Just, I don't know, she was kind of involved in this too in, you know, a weird way that she knew nothing about. But yeah, she was a good dog. And I'll end this memoriam on that. She was a good dog. So sorry to bring you down if I did. There's a reason I didn't start the episode with that. As I've said before, I'm super happy to reach 4,000 subscribers. This has been a little bit of a setback as we deal with the loss, but I still am planning on starting to live stream, so definitely keep an eye out for that still. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you're still here, thank you for sitting through my sad story. And as always, I will see you guys on the next one. Scout, why is it so windy? What did you do? What gods have you angered?